Hi everyone, welcome to MEFC Red Devil NCR's video, wherein we are going to be looking back at the game week one, which is just concluded. So I'm glad to have Ashley again with us. Hi Ashley, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm good. So you were bang on in terms of Liverpool versus Leeds being a humdinger.
Absolute humdinger. What a match. What was good about that game was the spirit of the Leeds players. Now,
Right.
they were not playing a championship side. They weren't playing a relegation team. They weren't playing a mid-table team. They were playing the Premier League champions, Liverpool.
Right. Right.
The confidence in that team was amazing. They just went for everything. I mean, it was just a
Right.
joy to watch the spirit in which they played in. They were not unfazed by any yardstick playing against Liverpool. They made a mockery out of Liverpool's defense. Their first goal, which Harrison scored, the confidence to actually take on the defense. He was alone. Under normal circumstances, I'm saying even if we had a Rashford in that position, he would have held on to the ball and waited for the runners. Harrison,
Right.
he took on Robertson. The pass came to him. He gets the pass on his foot. It ricochets off his chest. He still controls the ball. The ball has still not hit the ground and he's past Harrison. He's running. He's taken. Van Dijk comes in. Before Van Dijk can even put his leg in, the ball is in the back of the net. The speed, the control, they were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. I think
It's a great game. And yeah, please go on.
They lost because they were naive in defense. Look at the goals they gave away. 2 penalties, which they should never have given away. And the header to Van Dijk. That was absolutely stupid in defense. I mean, they shouldn't have let those goals go in. They would have definitely beaten Liverpool on the night. Liverpool, 2 penalties and 1 gift of a goal. And of course, the only goal that Salah scored was to normal play. But Leeds are going to be an exciting prospect in the league.
That's exactly what you said. And in a way, it's a good advert for the Premier League that a promoted side has a go because they have literally nothing to lose against the champions. And they churn out a performance like that, which by the end of the season, you could very well look back at this game and say it was amongst the best games of the season.
There'll be very few games to match this one. Considering you had a team coming up from relegation, playing the previous year's champions. I mean, they could have played
and giving them a run for the money.
Yes, absolutely. They could have played for a point. They could have defended, but they just went all out, which was theirs. The spirit and the commitment was just fantastic. Bielsa doesn't play like that. They are going to his team is trained and drilled so well. Okay, they can run for 90 minutes. Okay, their training sessions are so intense. They're so intense. They would have run the full game and still survived.
And for once, we were seeing the flaws in the Liverpool defense. Van Dijk wasn't the rock which Liverpool fans usually think of him as. He was very vulnerable.
Vulnerable is an understatement. He was arrogant.
Yes, absolutely.
He was arrogant. Yes. The ball which he gave away for the third goal, it was with Bamford. Bamford scored. Yeah, that ball could have gone anywhere. He could have passed it back to Alisson. He could have kicked it out. He could have done anything. What made him think he could control the ball and clear it from his box with a forward so close, with Bamford so close to him? I mean, in the presence of mind, Bamford tracked him. The minute he touched the ball, Bamford was moving forward. Van Dijk played the ball into his path. And there was an earlier instance where he could have just dinked the ball over Harrison, just chipped it. I'm sorry, not Harrison, Alisson in the goal, and scored, which he didn't. He tried to go around him and then lost the ball. But this time he tried it and it went into the goal. Of course, off his legs, but it went into the goal. It was a goal. But Liverpool's defense was all over the place. I mean, I think if they play like that against the other teams, they're going to lose.
And this was more or less evident during the end of last season as well. Once they had sewn up the championship, I mean the title, we remember their defense against the very next game against Man City. They were all over the place again. They were beaten 4-0. And I guess the teams would look at those matches against City and look at this match against Leeds and get a lot of confidence that if this Liverpool defense is had a go at, then they are vulnerable. They will concede goals, and there are mistakes there to be exploited.
Exactly, precisely. What will give the other team confidence is they have seen from
Right.
this game, that if you have a go at their defense, okay, they're going to crack, which is exactly what happened. So all teams are going to go. Rather than sit back and defend against their front three, they're not going to do it anymore. They're going to go, they are going to absolutely go all out.
Right.
All
So
teams are
that
going to
brings
go
me
all out.
that brings me to the next match. Again, one of the debutants in the Premier League this season. No, not the debutants, but the promoted side playing Arsenal. Gabriel on his debut scores for Arsenal, and Willian just has a blinder, 3 assists.
Arteta is a very astute coach. Remember that.
Right.
He's playing everybody in the right positions where they're supposed to be playing. He knows exactly how to get his team set up. In fact, I was making a joke some time back earlier that Manchester City sold the wrong manager. You know.
Right. Yes, you made that statement.
Actually, made that statement. Believe me, if Arteta had the Manchester City team at his disposal, he would have won the league. Absolutely. Right. Yes. But he's done such an excellent... Everybody wrote off Arsenal. Everybody. They said they would get relegated, this, that and the other. They won the FA Cup. And he was spot on with his tactics in that game. Spot on.
Right.
Everybody knew what they had to do.
Arsenal are definitely going to have a better season. I presume that they should have a better season than they did the last one.
Definitely.
And who's to know that they might still do a couple of more signings before the transfer window closes.
They surely will. I think they'll still get in a couple of players. Then there's the Ozil issue they need to sort out. If they sort out his problem and get him actually playing, that's an added asset to them, because Mesut Ozil firing on all cylinders, playing well with his head in the right place is an absolute treat. So if they get the best out of him, they will certainly be a force to reckon with. Definitely.
Right. So that brings us to the match that somehow I thought would be something to look forward to, but it turned out to be a bit of a drab affair. The Spurs versus Everton game. Spurs just didn't turn up, and Mourinho, for his press conference, to say that his players were lazy and they just didn't show any passion. Typical Mourinho again.
The man is an absolute joke. I don't know who he tries to blame at the end of every game.
Right.
He will blame his players. He will probably next blame the weather. I don't know what he's going to blame. Everybody except himself. To be honest, I was so disgusted watching Spurs play, I switched off the TV. It was so disgusting. Now,
I mean, they just didn't turn up. There wasn't any pattern of play. They couldn't hold 4 or 5 passes together. It was just all over the place. A very unlike Mourinho team.
Mourinho's absolutely, he's past it now. Absolutely past it. I feel sorry for Harry Kane because he's in he just doesn't get the ball. He has more touches in his own box than in the opposition box.
Yes.
It's Mourinho. I don't even know what he's trying to do at Tottenham, and he's going to make excuses that he hasn't been able to buy the correct players and stuff like that. It's all. I think he's got a list of excuses, and he'll blame the world except himself.
Exactly. It can't be a 70 million player every team that you go and manage. It just
you don't need to. You don't need to. Doherty was a good signing.
And parallelly, if you look at the managerial nuance, so to speak, James Rodriguez had a blinder. He was just brilliant.
Exactly. He hasn't been given game time in the other clubs he's been in. He's been on and off, injured. He's a fantastic player. If you take the performances for his when he plays for his country, are all stellar performances. He really does well because he's playing in a system he knows.
Right.
He's comfortable. He's getting game time. He's okay in training and stuff like that. But here, now Ancelotti knows him from the past clubs where he's been in, so he has a confidence in the manager. Okay, Ancelotti knows exactly how James plays, that he can deliver, put him in the right position.
Right.
So he's comfortable with that, and believe me, he is going to be the rock in Everton midfield for the season. If he's going to make a huge difference. Hopefully, if he doesn't get injured, but he really played well that day.
So that brings us to the Chelsea game, the team that literally signed half of Europe, so to speak. And they had a decent game. I mean, I believe that Havertz was very quiet. He didn't, have a very stellar kind of a game, but stable. Werner had a mixed bag. Apart from winning the penalty, there wasn't really much. But they somehow came through it with one or two brilliant goals. The second goal they scored was right out of the top draw.
They did, yes. But again, one was a penalty, one was a deflection.
Right.
The third goal was a deflection. Brighton missed a couple of good chances. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
they were in the game for quite some time. It wasn't that Chelsea had good over them.
They played well. In fact, I think they still need to get the understanding between the players. I think it'll take a month or so, because there was one instance where Loftus-Cheek had an open run. He was running on goal. He had just a defense, and the ball just need to be put at Werner's feet. He couldn't do that. Had he passed Werner would have. And Werner's run was amazing. He started the run in his own half. Only for that pass. And so I guess there's a little bit of understanding, but and then of course Kepa in goal. He shouldn't. The goal, Brighton goal, should never have gone in.
That never won, yes.
Should never have gone.
I mean, although Lampard did protect him and come out in his support after the game, but I still believe that they are in for a goalkeeper, which Fabrizio Romano has confirmed, and I guess they will be making a new signing. So let's see how that goes. Apart from that, I guess there were wins for Leicester, there was a win for Newcastle, and there was a win for Crystal Palace as well.
Yes,
all had about decent games.
Leicester played well. Leicester was a good game. Leicester was, of course, then they had a penalty in that. I think two penalties, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but there are two penalties. But Leicester did play well. They were a good side. They played well. They pressed. They were a good side.
And I think Leicester's new signing also scored. Kastar, that's how it's pronounced. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I think yes, they had Leicester. Yes, they did, and Vardy, I think, on the penalty. Yeah. So they had a good game. Yes, good 3 points.
And the usuals, Wolves won as well. They had a good game too.
Oh man, that if you want to actually. The ideal striker, Raul Jimenez. That ball, the goal he scored, to control it and the finish, that's what you want to see in a striker. And I'm sure if he was playing at home, that whole stadium would have been singing "Si Senor" to the as loud as they possibly can. But what a goal! That was a brilliant goal by Jimenez. Really, I mean, he's a brilliant forward. And that's what they need.
So going by what game week 1 so far has shown us in terms of what we expected, what we discussed in our last video, in terms of the top 5 or 6 sides gradually coming on top,
Yes.
When you pour your glass of beer, the froth comes on top. So I guess that's going to be witnessed this year. But then I totally now agree with you in terms of Leeds being a surprise package. And we are now playing on the coming weekend. Let's hope United have a good game, and we will be discussing about United's chances in the season ahead and the signings in our next video. So thanks, Ashley. Again, as usual, a pleasure talking to you. And we'll discuss about United's career, not career. Thankful. I hope I had a United career. We'll discuss about United's season very shortly. And thanks everyone for watching. Do subscribe to our channel, MUFC Red Devils NCR, and we'll catch you soon then. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.